Now, you were completely right about this one, Amazing Atheist. I mean, really, libertarians are nothing more than just white nationalists by another name. They want to excuse the racism, sexism, or whatever other ism under the pretense of states' rights, which essentially means that they will be able to discriminate on their territory, on their home turf, and then damn other states. That's the mentality of the redneck. The redneck figures, whoa, it ain't my town. It comes down to that old saying that, I don't care what other people do as long as it's not in my face. Oh, so what you mean to say is that you want to stick your head in the sand and pretend that the world is one way when it isn't. Essentially, you want to live in denial. That is the entitled, self-righteous programming of the white supremacist Republican caucus. And no matter what they call themselves, be it conservatives, libertarians, objectivists, whatever, they all basically think the same way. They just go about it in a different manner. You have people on the fundamentalist right that think it's the church's notion to decide right and wrong, and that each individual church can reinterpret the entire basis of biblical law differently, and we should have to ascribe to that, as opposed to the libertarian right that says it's the state's rights, and therefore the state's democratic elections get to decide right and wrong, and then the rest of us have to suffer for their injustices. And the Republicans, typical Republicans, believe that corporations are people, and that corporations should be able to interpret the law however they want to. In reality, while I agree with you, Amazing Atheist, I do not think you or anybody else stresses enough the fact that if we're pissed off about the fact that we realize this is full of shit, how states' rights is nothing more than an excuse to initiate violence and force, coercion, and hatred upon other people under the pretense of the will of the people, then why do we tolerate it on the internet? This idea that people have the right to discriminate and ban people from any message board, any website, or any institution online is no different than a state law saying that we get to segregate black people, gay people, women, etc. It's the same mentality. It's the same conclusion. It's the same freaking thing when a business, a private institution, gets to discriminate against any group of people or any individual on any basis, the same way as the state laws can discriminate against people, institution, and individuals in the same regard, or whatever. It's the same shit, no matter how you look at it. You can turn it upside down, you can turn it sideways, it's the same fucking thing. And not enough people are bringing that up. So while I vehemently agree with you, I think you're missing an opportunity here to bring that up about the injustices of online. The internet is in every regard a libertarian society, and that's exactly what is wrong with it. That's why we need bills like SOPA and ACTA. Maybe not those bills necessarily, but clearly we need some kind of government intervention, some kind of federal government intervention, not simply the will of multitudes of little states or multitudes of little corporations that get to bend and twist it to their whim and make the laws apply when they want them to, and then fuck everybody else. And it's just full of corruption and deceit and bullshit and technicalities, and no one on the top is held accountable for their actions. When you get right down to it, I would rather be treated like shit equally than treated well unequally. And not many people are willing to admit that. Not many people are willing to admit that in regards of right and wrong, equal bad treatment is better than unequal good treatment. It's just that simple. If we all can't be free, then none of us should be free. That's not to say that we shouldn't be free, but if it comes down to that, I would rather us be equally unfree. And does anybody else out there on YouTube or anyone else have the courage to just come out and say that? that in the end, if you must choose between freedom or equality, which one are you going to go with and why? Why would you allow there to be a society where sociopaths and degenerates and just disgusting people such as Steve or Richard the Rapist Bueller get to enjoy the bounties of freedom and you don't, as opposed to, well, yeah, you do have to suffer, but you know what? They have to suffer too. Possibly even more, because they are indeed bad people. So that's what this comes down to. It's about justice. Where is the justice? There is no justice in state discrimination. There is no justice in private corporations discrimination. There is no justice in even individual discrimination. Any kind of discrimination is wrong. And if people are going to say it's wrong to discriminate against someone because of their gender, or because of their sexual identity, or because of their race, then it should be wrong to discriminate against them just because you're a fucking twat of a moderator that thinks you have the right to ban people for whatever spur is up your ass at the time. And hopefully that message will reach someone, and hopefully if you bring this up, maybe more people will see, because more people are willing to listen to you than me, and we really don't think that much differently, but for some reason I guess you're just a more charismatic guy than I am. So hopefully you'll take this video to heart, and hopefully you'll bring it up some time in the future, and maybe then people will start to see what I'm talking about here. So see you later.